When I come out here, it was like a spiritual awakening.
It has really changed my life for the better.
Yeah, it's a community. It's just this family of really, really great people who all come together.
It's done a lot of great things for her and her confidence specifically.
There's no judgment here. There's no expectations. What we're on a journey here is use these animals to help us find peace. Safe?
Yes.
When it comes to working with horses, there's no magic involved. There's no hocus pocus. It's just developing that connection.
They're big creatures, but they're so gentle and intuitive. And they have a way of like reading your emotions. So having a connection with this animal that you can almost communicate with non-verbally is good for anybody, but especially for any children or people that are struggling with disabilities, it can be life-changing.
We adopted Carter at birth, and there was some things that he had to endure even as a baby and some developmental delays. That first time he rode, he was nervous coming in, but the volunteers and the instructor, they just make it so comfortable and so easy, and he just jumped right in. And just seeing the growth since then has been incredible.
I think the biggest thing that Tri has helped Corinne with is just her confidence and her socialization and being confident to approach other kids and say, "Hi, I'm Corinne," and introduce herself and play with other kids and get to know other kids. The volunteers, everybody has just kind of encouraged her to come out of her shell a little bit.
Kara has Down syndrome and autism, so she got hit with a double whammy. When we first started out, Kara didn't even know how to pet the horse, and now she's learned how to approach Billy Ray and how to pet Billy Ray and what makes Billy Ray feel good, and that's part of a relationship. When she's riding Billy Ray, it's just a joy to our family like no other. You just can't even describe it.
Firefighters and police officers and paramedics are experiencing some of the same symptoms from the violence, death, and destruction they experience on the streets. So warriors is just that general term that helps us without trying to list all of them. And it covers everybody who served in uniform and does a difficult job that they experience a lot of trauma. When we get stuck like that, we think we're defective, helpless, and alone. Nobody's as messed up as we are, and we don't want to tell anyone, so we isolate. And then we're afraid of the feelings because we've been in career fields where we're told not to feel. Suppress it, pretend it doesn't bother you. In some cases, we explore and find childhood trauma, and especially in society, we tend to tell boys not to cry, and all that does is suppress their humanity, and so grief builds up. So one of the biggest symptoms we find in warriors with PTSD, depression, anxiety, all the things I used to have, is unmourned grief, because all the negative experiences they had, those emotions are still with those memories because they were never allowed to feel it. They weren't allowed to cry. They weren't allowed to let it go.
In our veterans group, a lot of our veterans come in kind of closed off, and their body language very much tells you so. At first, a lot of the times you'll see the horses not coming in and interacting.
Tim took us out here in the back behind this barn out in the middle of the field and goes, "Go out there and walk around a minute." And then he got us all circled up and had us just sit there in the sunshine and close our eyes and put our hands out and taught us some meditation. And it was a little session you go through, and it's about your past. It's called a bucket. And put all your problems, you write them down. You throw them in that bucket.
By the end of the session, it's really cool to see as they do their meditation in a circle, the horses are coming in and interacting because they want to choose to be there.
And the horse stood right there, and I started tearing up. He goes, "Well, hug the horse." So I started hugging this horse. Next thing I know, I'm sitting there bawling my eyes off, got my arm around this horse's neck and holding its heart.
Walls will break down and things will open up and come out that don't come out in the clinical setting. So we try to complement that.
And I just sat there and cried my eyes out. Tim told me, you know, just walk away from that bucket and don't look back. And then your past is in that bucket and it's behind you now.
Right now, we offer high-quality, accredited equine-assisted services like therapeutic horseback riding or adaptive horseback riding. We have our equine-assisted counseling programs. We have 2 programs currently through that. We have our Warriors in Step with Horses, and then we also have Taking the Reins. So we really see our vision in expanding a lot of those programs, growing our numbers for those programs, and we really see a lot of growth through our partnerships in the community.
It does take quite a bit to be able to operate a fully running farm. We have 23.5 acres here. We also have 10 horses that we take care of on a daily basis. They all need fed, they need water multiple times a day. We have to have somebody here 7 days a week taking care of the horses. We really rely on funding from not only the community, but from donors who are able to support our program, because it is something that our students not only want to have in their life, but for the most part, they need to have in their everyday life to be successful.
The biggest thing would be just the joy of enabling access to people who need this service. It's sometimes one of the only activities that they can participate in. It might be the only place where they really develop true friendships. One of our moms last year said that her child had their first birthday party with friends, and they were friends from Try, because this is the one place where they feel like they're not different.
During these lessons, they really try to push us and have us do things that we haven't done before. Teaching me new and different things has been really helpful, and it's been reinvigorating my love of riding and horses.
Try is really important for so many different people. You can come here no matter what your difference is, and it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter how old you are, what, other things you maybe can't do. At Try, you can.
Said if I hadn't been through this place, I'll be back on the street. Day before yesterday, I was 10 months sober. Got my own apartment. I don't think I'd have done any of that if I hadn't come out here. And I'm not just talking that either. I'm a firm believer in it.
This has been a complete game changer for our family. From the moment he started riding, there's just been such a change with him and just a calmness in him, and he absolutely loves it here. It just brings him so much joy.
I love these people that do this, and I love this experience, and I like to see every veteran go through this experience.
These 8 weeks has been the best 8 weeks of my life.